afternoon. This is Andree. I teach yoga at JCC. Hope you had a nice day today. We are going to continue to do yoga spring openings. So every season has its own quality, and yoga seems to adjust to every season, following what the body may require. So today we are going to, most of the poses we're going to do are going to be on the floor. You are going to need a blanket, 2 blocks, and a strap. So position yourself in a seated position. Make sure you are comfortable, no issue with the knees, no problem with the knees. Okay, you can let your hands rest on your thighs or your knees. Let's take a moment using the breath to lengthen the spine. So feel that energy rising from the pubic bone up to the crown of the head, and feel the energy dropping from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. So your back muscle should be soft. Listen to the natural flow of the breath. You can keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes. Observing each breath without forcing the breath. Can you let the lungs breathe? Very often we are breathing with our brain, with our head. And whenever we breathe with our head, it creates a constriction in a chest and the diaphragm. So think about relaxing the diaphragm. Now, in this session today, I want to remind you not to force your body into any extreme position. So all the exercises, the asanas we are going to do today, you want to find where is your limit. Where are you working? And then you want to stay there. You don't want to try to push further than this. Because when we push too much, the muscles too much, of course it's a risk of injury, but also the body has a way of reacting in a negative way when we do that. So we want to keep the body in a positive mode, and we're going to keep the brain relaxed. So the first exercise we're going to do is a supine exercise. You are going to take your 2 blocks and have your strap by your side. So you take your 2 blocks and place the block this way on the mat. That being said, when you go back, sometimes people feel, oh, the block is too hard on my shoulders. So the shoulder blades are going to be on the block and the head is going to be on the floor. So when you put your shoulder blades on the block, if it's not comfortable, then you can take a blanket, roll it up, and then use a blanket instead of the blocks. Okay. Now, if you're using the blocks and when you get your head back, it's like trying to reach for the floor, which you cannot find, then you use a block underneath, you use a blanket underneath your head so that you don't have an extreme extension of the neck. Okay, so the neck should be comfortable. You should feel a stretch, but it should be comfortable. So let's sit with your legs in front of you. Have your legs together, and now drape your shoulder blades onto the block. So the edge of the block comes a little bit below the tip of the shoulder blades. Then you let your head go back, and you extend the arms over your head. If this is not comfortable for you, then you can have the arms more out to the side. Okay. So take the time to adjust to that position. So we're doing this to open the chest and the shoulders. Keep your legs together. Observing your breath. Relax the facial muscles. We're going to stay here for about a minute or two. Breathing in and breathing out. Now just let the arms rest by your side for the next 5-10 breaths. Feel the opening in your throat. Feel the opening in the chest. Feel the concave position of the upper back. So if you have a very tight back, this is a really good position to be in that you could use anytime, even if you don't do any other yoga in your day. Now this, as the body is adjusting to the position, keep those legs active, pressing the back of your knees to the floor. And then you can let the legs relax a little bit for the next few breaths. Concentrate on the in-breath, inhaling energy, exhaling release. To come out of the position, you're going to bend your knees and then roll off the block. Place the block on your side. Take your strap. So what we're going to do, we are going to do legs out to the side, and then we're going to bring the same leg all the way across. So the leg may not, when you bring the leg across, it may just come part way. So it doesn't have to come to the floor. Okay? And what we're trying to access when we bring the leg across is a twist. As you try to access that ati band, the glutes and the ati band. So lying down on your belly, have your strap in your hand, you bring the right knee in, plus a strap around the ball of the foot, and extend the leg up to the ceiling. Now we want to take time to let the legs adjust to the stretch. This is your first stretch. Your legs may feel pretty tight. So a lot of time, one of the tightness is in the calves, sometimes in your hamstring. So notice where the tightness is in your leg. So you can place your left hand on top of your left thigh to remind yourself to keep that extension of the left leg and the rooting of the left buttock. Now bring your right leg closer to you and slowly bring your leg out to the side. Now you're stretching both legs away from each other. Okay, do not overdo the leg out to the side. Remember what I said, where you go to a place where you feel that a challenge, but you're not going beyond that. So you may either want to pull away from it a little bit and then go back in, out. So we could do that again. Let's bring the leg back in and then bring the leg out to the side. Give your leg a chance to adjust. Now as you hold in the opening, continue to monitor your breath. Now bring the leg back to the center and hold on to the strap with your left hand and slowly bring your leg across. Again, go to the place where you feel like you're working. Now I'm able to bring my foot to the floor, so that's what I'm doing. Now let's take about 10 breaths here. So you may feel a lot of stretch right in the yati band. You keep rooting the right shoulder down to the floor. So this is a twist. And then slowly bringing your leg back up to the center. Remove the strap, lower the leg all the way down. Readjust yourself. So it's always a good idea to look up, make sure you're still centered on your mat. Now bring the left knee in, place the strap around the ball of the foot. Extend your leg up. You can pause in here, letting the leg adjust to the stretch. Press your heel to the ceiling. Open the back of your knee fully. Now bring the leg a little bit closer to you and bring the leg out to the side. Stretching both legs away from each other. Float the leg back up to the center. Float the leg out to the side. Back to the center. Use your core when you do that. And then let's spread the leg out to the side, holding the leg out to the side, keeping the right leg fully active and extended. Again, remember not to force the stretch. And I'll slowly bring the leg back up. Hold on to the strap with your left hand, right hand, and then bring your leg across. Keep the left shoulder rooted to the floor. Breathe into the stretch. Now, no matter how many times I do that stretch, there's always a lot of tightness around the yati band and the glutes. It's because it's a very hard place of the body to stretch. If it's too intense, this position, one, please don't bring your leg to the floor, or two, bend your knee slightly. And then slowly, bring the leg back up. Let go of the strap, lower the leg all the way down to the floor. Pause here, extend the arms over your head. Press the feet forward, press the arms back. And now bending your knees. Roll out to your side. And come to a downward facing dog. So step your feet back a little bit more than you usually do. Let your head hang naturally between your arms. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Again, don't force the pose. And then walk your feet forward to your hands. Place your hands on your hips and come up. So the circle exercise, asana we're going to do is a forward bend, rolling down into the forward bend, and then rolling back up. So we're going to do that 5 times. Okay. So have your feet hip width apart. Always look down, make sure that our 10 toes are pointing forward. Extend the arms over your head, look up. And bring the arms down. Now, lower your head forward and begin to roll down. And then roll up. Arms over your head. Bringing the arms down. Lower your head forward. Roll down. Let the weight of your upper body pull you down. And roll up. Arms over your head. Palms together. Bring the arms down. Lower your head forward. Let the weight of your head guide the weight of your arms, the weight of your head. Notice the core engaging to do that. Rolling back up. And all core work. Arms over your head. Palms together. Bringing the arms down. Lower your head. Roll down. And roll back up. Arms over your head. Palms together. Arms down. We're going to do this one more time. This time, when we get down to the forward bend, we're just going to take 5 breaths. Okay? Drop the head, let the arms hang, roll all the way down. Once you're down, now adjust your stance to be centered underneath each foot. Let your head drop. Open the back of your legs. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Step back to downward facing dog. Extend your right leg up, bend your knee, open the hip. And then come into reverse dog. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Extending the left leg up, bending the knee, into reverse dog. Exhaling. Downward facing dog. Come to your knees. Rest to child's pose. Take 5 breaths in child's pose. And sit up. Okay, let's take a blanket, and you may want to have your strap by your side. You're not going to need it right away, but have it so that you can reach for it if you need it. So let's create a little ledge. Good. Okay, now sitting right on the edge of the blanket. we are going to do 2 twists. So we start in Dandasana, staff pose. Have your hands behind you, lengthen the spine. Take a couple of breaths here. Now grab underneath your right knee and bend the knee, bring the foot in. If you want, sometimes people find it a little bit more easy to just let your left leg move out slightly to the side. Okay. Bring your hands behind you again, lengthen the spine. Now keep your left hand behind you, stretch your right arm up, and then bring your shoulder to the inside of your knee or your upper arm, coming into the twist. Breathing in, breathing out. Pressing your knee and your arm against each other. Smile. Relax the facial muscles. And then come back to the center. Keep the knee bent. Place your right hand behind you. Stretch your left arm up. Now you're going to lean back first. And then you're going to lean to the side, bring your upper arm to the inside of your knee, outside of the knee, and then come into the counter twist. Using the breath, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling into the twist. Don't force the twist. And exhale, come back to the center. Stretch both legs, place your hands behind you, lengthen the spine. Now, hold on underneath your left knee, bring the foot in, move your right leg just a tiny bit out to the side. So which means that your foot doesn't have to touch the inner part of your extended leg. Now lengthen the spine. You're going to stretch your left arm up and come into a twist, pressing the elbow or the arm on the inside of the knee. Lengthen the spine. As you inhale, move deeper into the twist. As you exhale. Exhaling, come back to the center. Realign the spine. Now stretch your right arm up. Let your left hand be behind you. Lean back. And then lean into the twist. And adjust, lift in the spine. Let the spine extend. Using the breath. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to twist deeper. All of this happens in the belly. And then come back to the center, stretch both legs. Let's extend the arms over your head. And then hinge forward, grab your strap or grab the outside of your feet. You can keep your feet slightly apart. Lengthen the spine, flat back. Press the back of your knees strongly to the mat. Using the breath. And then slowly come up. So we're going to do side twist, which is sort of a revolve. I'm going to be facing you for this. So keep on, stay on your blanket. This time I separate the legs nice and wide. Just pause here. Feel the energy rising from the pubic bone all the way up to the crown chakra. Feel the dropping of the tailbone to root your sitting bones to the floor. Now you're going to take your right leg and you're going to bend the leg. Place your foot on the inside of your left leg. Now turn toward your front leg. Grab your big toe, use your strap. Place your right hand on your hip or on the top of your thigh. Pause here. Bring the back of your knee to the floor. So we begin right here, we're rotating. Keeping the head back. Now there's a tendency, and I see that in my body, of bringing the head forward. Right? So you want to keep the head back, even turning up. Now bend your elbow, place your elbow on the inside of your knee, and then continue to twist. Keep lifting that shoulder, keep rotating the belly to the ceiling. And now when you're ready, bring the top arm by your ear. Keep rotating up to the ceiling. Keep pressing the opposite ceiling bone to the ground. Relax the facial muscles. You could always play a little deeper. And inhale, come up. Stretch both legs. Take a couple of breaths in the center. You can bring your hands behind you, realign the spine, lengthening. And now take the inside of your left knee, place the foot on the inside of your right leg. Make sure when we do twists, it's very important that you concentrate on the length of your spine. So I don't really care how far you go. I care more about the awareness of keeping the spine lengthening, because that's where the twist becomes very beneficial for you. If your spine is rounded and you try to twist, this is harmful for the spine. So know what to concentrate on. Okay, I cannot see you in a hoop. You are listening to me. Okay, now grab your big toe. Or before you do that, just turn toward your extended leg. And then you grab the big toe. And you place your other hand on your hip. Now concentrate on the leg. Try to bring the leg flush with the floor. Begin to twist here. Keeping the head back. And if you're ready, you could stay here, by the way, I didn't say that before, but you could stay here or bend your elbow. Place the elbow on the inside of your knee and begin to continue the rotation to the ceiling. And then bring the top arm by your ear if you want to. And inhale, come up. And separate your legs. Nice and wide. Enjoying your breath. Enjoying the body resting in between the effort. And then bring your legs together, bring your feet together just for a moment to coming into cobblers pose. Then you may feel a really active stretch on the inside of your thighs. Flex your hands behind you. Press the sole of the feet together and stretch the inner thighs. And bring your knees together. Okay, let's move the blanket out of the way for now. And you're going to lie down on your right side. Extend your arm out. So you're letting your head rest on your arm. Now, bring your legs a little bit forward. Bend your left knee, so the top leg, and then begin to stretch the left quads and the psoas muscles. Keep breathing as you do that. Feel the stretch in your quads. Now bring the knee back in, place the foot on the inside of your bottom leg, outside, inside, on the outside. Okay, and then take your hand on the inside of your left knee and then just press the knee out, just for a few breaths. And now let's do that again. Grabbing your ankle or your foot, stretch the leg back. So it's like a half bow on your side. Then you go to that place where you feel a challenge and you stay there, using the breath, particularly the out breath to release into the stretch. And slowly come back to the center. Pause here. And let's go to the other side. Lying down on your left. Moving your legs a little bit slightly forward for balance. Okay. Bending your knee, grab the ankle or the foot and begin to stretch the left quads and the ati bend. Now there's a difference between sides. Coming back to the center, place the foot on the outside of your bottom leg. Press the knee out for a couple of breaths. And now let's grab the ankle or the foot again and stretch the leg. Using the breath. The more you can concentrate on the breath, the less you concentrate on maybe some unpleasant sensation. And then come back to the center. Okay, we're going to lie down on the belly. Lying down. So let's start by keeping the left arm so that the forearms is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Bend your right knee, grab the foot. So you're not trying to lift the knee off the floor, stretching the leg. Again, breathing into the stretch. Exhale, release. Let's go to the other side. Bending the left knee, grabbing the foot. Breathing into the stretch. And release. Let's just take a couple of breaths to rest. Place one hand over the other hand. Place your forehead on your hand. Take a few breaths here. Observe the sensation in your legs. And we are now going to do bow pose. So bring your forehead to the floor, bend your knees, grab your ankles, and then inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Bring your forehead to your hands. Let's do this again. Grab your ankles. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Let's do this one more time. Grab the ankles. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And press to child's pose. Again, place your forehead on your hands. Direct your breath to the back. And sit up. So the next pose we're going to do, some of you may have guessed, camel pose. So standing on your knees. Those of you who need support because you cannot reach your heels, you can either lift your heels up, so be in that position, making the heels higher, or you can use a blanket, put it on top of your thighs, okay? And another choice, you don't have to go all the way back. So pause here, feel your body standing on your knees. Move the elbows back. So before you do anything, you are already in a back bend, in a spine extension. Now is the energy rising from the pubic bone and the tailbone dropping toward the floor. Now extend the arms over your head. Reach up, look up at your hands, and begin to go into your pose. Open the arms out to the side. Bring your hands to your heels. Let your head drop. Inhale, come up. Sit on your heels. So after doing the first one, you know where you are with your body. So if you felt a discomfort in your in your lower spine, and you are not using props, then use something over your legs or turn the toes under. If you feel that going backwards is not something you can do, then you can just place your hands on your hips and go back a little bit, okay? So let's do this again. Extend the arms over your head, reach up. So even if you're going to place your hands on your hips, get the length first, okay? Then begin to move into your pose any amount that you can. Open the arms out. Inhale, come up and sit on your heels. So some people really love back bends, and some people not as much. But after you do back bend and you challenge your body in the right way, then you get a sense of lightness, and it feels good to have challenged yourself. We're going to do this one more time. Are you ready? Okay. Stand on your knees. Stretch your arms up. Reach up. Look up at your hands. Lift the tailbone. Drop the tailbone. Lift the pubic bone. Come into your pose. Inhale, come up. Separate your knees. Let your arms rest by your side. Come into child's pose. Drop the head. Breathe into your back. Let the shoulder blades spread. Even if the elbows come to the floor, just exaggerate that sensation. Feel the broadening of the sacrum. Feel the broadening of the back muscles. And slowly sit up. So we are going to do a bridge, and we're going to do a supported bridge. So you take your block, one block. In fact, let's take 2 blocks. Let's explore bridge with your feet elevated onto a block. So place both feet onto your block. So that is, I'm using the block on the long side to match the shape of my foot, of each foot. Now you don't have to lift here, but press your feet to the block. And so we're going to use the legs to lift. And when we come down, we're going to use the core to come down, okay? So, let's begin. Press the feet to the block. Hold there. Engage the core. Lower the spine down. Try to keep those knees aligned. If it's hard for you to keep the knees aligned, then place a block between your knees. Okay, let's go up again. Using the legs, press the feet to the block to lift. Keep the belly flat. and curl by down. So this one, we curl by down, that's when the knees have a tendency to open. So keep those knees in. So in that case, when we try to keep the knees aligned, we're using the adductors and the abductors. So they're both working to keep your legs from flaring out. So we're going to do this one more time. Now stand the arms over your head. Really press your feet into the block. And as you bring the arms down, slowly return back to the floor. Okay, so you're going to take your blocks. So all you're going to need is one block. Use a block on a height that's appropriate for you. So, you know, we have 3 heights: high, medium, and then low. Okay, so you don't have to push. You find the height that's comfortable for you. So because I want you to rest in that bridge. So walk the feet in a little bit, slide the shoulders on your back, then lift the spine up, slide the block underneath your sacrum. And to place your fingers in front of the block. So here you're fully supported by the block. So you're pressing the elbows down so that the shoulders are off the floor. Not very high, but they're not resting on the floor. Only the back of your head is. So the back of the head is on the floor, the elbows are on the floor, the sacrum is on the block, and your feet are on the floor. Everything else is lifted in between. Puff up your chest. Open those ribs. And now extend the arms by your side. So undo your fingers, walk your fingers a bit more, and lift off the block. How much can you lift? And then release back down. Remove the block, curl all the way down to the floor. Bring your knees into your chest. Keeping the right knee in, extend your left leg on the floor, hold on to your knee with your left hand, and bring your knee across. Extend your right arm out, shoulder height, turn your head to the right. Use the oblique abdominals to move your waist, the right side of your waist toward the floor. Come back to the center. Bring both knees in. Now keeping your left knee in, stretch your right leg on the floor, bring your left knee across, extend your left arm out, keep the left shoulder on the floor. Use your oblique abdominals to do that. And come back to the center. Give your knees a hug. Rock from side to side. Your body sometimes naturally do that stuff. So just listen to the body. What does it want to do right now? And bring your feet back down to the floor. Okay, you're going to sit up. So we are going to do a couple of fish pose. And then we're going to go into Shavasana. Okay? So, have your legs together. Take a few breaths here. Don't use a blanket underneath your hips right now. So even if it's hard for you to really lengthen the spine, place your hand behind you, press the back of your knees to the floor, lengthen the spine. So now, if you never did that before, you can watch me do it and then rewind and do it yourself, okay? So I'm placing my hands by the hips. I'm gonna lean back, but then as I do that, I lift the chest, bring the top of my head to the floor. Extend the arms over the head. Bring your legs down, coming back up. Stretching forward. So we are going to do this one more time. So if you didn't do it the first time, you get to do it at least once. Okay? So, bring your hands here. So, you begin to, let me give you another instruction. Move the elbows in. So, you're already lifting between the shoulder blades. Letting the head lift up. And then begin to go back. And you could keep your arms here this way, or bring the arms over your head. Again, this is the choice. And then come up and stretch. Keep pressing the back of your knees to the floor. And come up. So we're going to start Shavasana, but we're going to start first in reclined cobblers pose. So bring the two blocks this way. Bring the feet onto the block. Walk your seat toward the block. This is really good for the back. If you feel any compression in your back, that's going to should feel good. Extend the arms over your head. Press the feet together. Feel the weight of your legs reaching for the floor. Bring the arms by your side. Walk the shoulder blades down your back. If it's more comfortable for you to have your hands on your belly, sometimes it's nice to have your hands on the belly because you can really connect to the breath. What happened to the belly when you breathe? What happened to the ribs when you breathe? What happened to the upper chest when you breathe? So let's take a few breaths this way. So you're going to start with your hands on the belly, observing your breath. Let the legs expand on their own. Don't guide it from the head. Now place your hands on your lower ribs. Breathe. And place your hands on the upper chest. And then slowly bring your knees toward each other. We're going to use the block to place the block underneath the thighs, either near the sitting bones or near the knees, depending on your back. So you stretch your legs over the block. Make sure the block is not biting your legs, that it's totally comfortable. So you could use a blanket instead. Open the chest. Now I'm going to have you place your hands on your belly. Now what I want you to be aware of is that as you move your hands up, I want you to notice if it affects your breath. So we're starting here with the abdominals, hands resting on the abdominal muscles. Let's take about 4 breaths here. Now place your hands on your lower ribs. Now place your hands on the upper chest. Now let your arms rise by your side for about 5 breaths. Noticing the quality of your breath. Now you're going to bend your knees. Remove the block. And roll to your side. To push yourself up. You're going to take your blanket. So notice how you cross your legs when you first sat at the beginning of the class, and I'm pretty sure, unless you have done yoga for as long as I have, that you didn't notice. So you did it a natural way. So do the opposite now. So for me, my right leg was on top, so I'm going to switch, place my left leg, my left foot on top. Place your hands resting on your knees. Take a couple of breaths, observing your body at the end of the class. Now join your palms. Again, notice the breath moving, so your hands are touching your sternum, so we can feel the breath there to the connection of your heads and your sternum. With your next exhalation, bow to yourself with gratitude. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. Sorry, it's not morning. The day went by very fast. So I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next week.